Hi guys, good afternoon. For today, we will be discussing another topic for general mathematics. Last discussion, my topic is all about pre-calculus, but this time I will be discussing general mathematics and the topic is evaluating functions. So this is for module 2. This is for week 2 of the general mathematics. So I will share my screen. So how do we know when to evaluate a function and what is evaluating functions? So when we say evaluating functions, it means replacing the variable in the function, f of x in this case, x. Kung f of y yan, we will replace y. Kung g of x yan, x pa rin yung i-replace natin. Kung g of h yan, h yung i-replace natin with a value from the function's domain and computing for the result. Always remember that for this one, the given is the domain, and that given is the one that is being replaced in the function. So let's have an example. So let's first have this example. So for this example, we are asked to evaluate the given function 9 minus 6x if we have f of -1 and f of 1. So based on this example, we are asked to evaluate 9 minus 6x, and we're asked to solve for f of -1 and f of 1. So this is our f of x, or the function of x. So the given is 9 minus 6x. So if we are evaluating f of -1, remember that we will replace all the values of x with -1. Again, we will replace all the values of x with -1. And based on the given, we are given 9 minus 6x. Therefore, we will replace x by -1 in the function. And this becomes 9 minus 6 times -1. We'll be having 9, -6 times -1, that becomes positive 6. And 9 plus 6 now is equal to 15. So this is the answer for f of -1. And how about for f of 1? If in this case, again, this is the value of x, therefore we will replace x by 1 in the equation 9 minus 6x. And this becomes 9 minus 6 times. What is our x? That becomes 1. Therefore, that becomes -6 times 1. We'll be having 9 minus 6. And f of 1 now is equal to 3. So that is the answer for our example. Okay, so we have another example in here. So for this another example, we're asked to evaluate the functions at x is equal to 3. Okay, so evaluate the functions at x is equal to 3 over 2. We are given different functions. So we are given different functions. We are given a, b, c, and d. Okay, so for these functions, always remember that we need to replace the value of x by 3 over 2 in every function. If this is 2x plus 1, we'll replace x by 3 over 2. If this is x squared minus 2x plus 2, we will replace x by 3 over 2, and so on and so forth. So we are given the function 2x plus 1. Therefore, we're asked to determine f of 3 over 2. We will replace now the value of x by 3 over 2. And this becomes 2, multiply it to 3 over 2 plus 1. Cancel out 2, therefore f of 3 over 2 is just equal to 3 plus 1. And the function of 3 over 2 is equal to 3 plus 1, which is 4. F of 3 over 2 now, from the function 2x plus 1, is just equal to 4. If we will be evaluating this at x is equal to 3 over 2. Next one, we're now given the function of q of x. So we're given q of x is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 2. If we are given this one, remember that the value of x is 3 over 2. Okay? Therefore, q of 3 over 2 is now equal to 3 over 2 squared minus 2 times 3 over 2 plus 2. Okay? So, in this case, we need to simplify. 3 over 2 squared is just 9 over 4. Negative 2 times 3 over 2, we cancel out 2. Therefore, that becomes minus 3. And we'll now be having plus 2 for the last term. Okay, so we'll be having 9 over 4. 9 over 4. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So let us simplify. So this is now 9 over 4 minus 1. The LCD is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1 times 9 is 9. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So 9 minus 4 is 5. And then the denominator is 4. So Q of 3 over 2 now is equal to 5 over 4. For g of x, we are given 2x plus 2. For g of x, we are given square root of 2x plus 2. Okay, we are given square root of 2x plus 2. Therefore, we need to replace the value of x by 3 over 2. So we're asked to determine g of 3 over 2, and that is equal to square root of 2 times 3 over 2 plus 1. We'll be having square root of 2 times 3 over 2 cancel 2. That is 3 plus 1. Therefore, square root of 4, g of 3 over 2 now is equal to 2. Okay, and for the last one, we are given r of x, which is 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. So if we are given this one, again, we will now be trying to replace all the values of x by 3 over 2. And this becomes r of 3 over 2. And we'll be having 2 times 3 over 2 plus 1 over 3 over 2 minus 1. Okay? So I will just... Okay, from the given, we just need to multiply 2 by 3 over 2. We could cancel out 2. And this becomes 3 plus 1 over 3 halves minus 1. Therefore, we need to get the LCD. LCD is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 3 is just 3. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. This is now equal to 3 plus 1, which is 4, over 3 minus 2 is 1 over 2. This is also equal to 4, multiply this to the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2 over 1. Therefore, 4 times 2 over 1 is just 8. R of 3 over 2 now is equal to 8. Okay, so let's have another given. And for another given, let's just share this screen. And for another given, f of x is equal to 4 over x. Find the following values. Okay, so we're given the function 4 over x. We're asked to find the following values. Okay, we're given 4 over x. Find the following values. When we're given f of 1, therefore, all we have to do is to replace the value of x by 1. We're given f of x is equal to 4 over x. So this is the given. If that is the given now, therefore, if we're asked to get f of 1, that is 4 over 1. And f of 1 now is just equal to 4. Okay? For f of 2, we'll be having 4 over 2, and that is just 2. So f of 2 now is equal to 2. F of negative 1, so f of negative 1 is just equal to 4 over negative 1. Therefore, f of negative 1 is equal to negative 4. How about if we're given f of square root of 2? For f of square root of 2, therefore this becomes f of square root of 2 is equal to 4 over square root of 2. And in this case, it is not yet rationalized. So we need to rationalize this one. So rationalization, f of square root of 2 is equal to 4 over square root of 2 times the denominator, which is square root of 2 over square root of 2. Therefore, we'll now be having f of square root of 2 is equal to 4 square root of 2 over square root of 2 times square root of 2 is just 2. Therefore, f of square root of 2 will be 4 divided by 2. That is 2 square root of 2. So this is now the answer if you're asked to determine f of square root of 2. And for second to the last one, we're asked to find f of 1 over x. Therefore, we need to replace the value of x by 1 over x. F of 1 over x is just equal to 4 over what is x? That is 1 over x. Simplifying, this is equal to 4 times the reciprocal of 1 over x is x. Therefore, f of 1 over x is equal to 4x. And for the last given, we are given f of 2x. So if we're given f of 2x, we just need to replace x with 2x. And the f of 2x now is equal to 4 over 2x. Or that is f of 2x is equal to 4 divided by 2. So we'll be having 2 over x. And this is the answer if you're asked to determine f of 2x given the function 4 over 2x. Okay? So let's continue. Okay, so what if we're now given different problem? Okay, for example, we are given this one. So we are given 3x squared plus 4 over x. So what do we do now if that is the given? If that is the given, so let us try to solve. Based on the given is 3x squared. The given is f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 4 over x. And we're asked to get the following values. For A, we're asked to find f of 2. For B, we're asked to find f of negative 3. And for C, we're asked to find f of 0. Okay, so we are given 3 questions. And for these 3 questions, we're asked to evaluate the function f of 3x squared plus 4 over x when x is 2, x is negative 3, and x is equal to 0. Okay, so let's try to answer this one. Okay, so this is the given now. Okay, for letter A, we just need to replace all the values of x by 2. And in this case, this becomes now f of 2 is equal to 3 times 2 squared plus 4 over 2. Therefore, f of 2 is equal to 2 squared, that is 3 times 4 plus 4 over 2. Simplifying, 3 times 4 is 12 plus 4 over 2. Therefore, what is 12 plus 4? That is 16. And 16 over 2 now is equal to 16 over 2. Sorry, this should be 16 over 2. Therefore, f of 2, it becomes 8. Okay. And for the next one, we're asked to evaluate f of negative 3. Again, we need to replace all the values of x by -3. We'll be having 3 times -3 squared plus 4 over -3. We'll be having 3. So f of -3 is equal to 3. -3 squared, that is 9, plus 4 over -3. F of -3 now is equal to 3 times 9, 9, 18, 27. 27 plus 4 over -3. Therefore, f of -3 is equal to 31 or -31 over 3. So this is the answer if you're asked to determine the function f of -3 from the function 3x squared plus 4 all over x. And for the last one, so we are given f of 0. So for f of 0, we'll now be having 3 times 0 squared plus 4 over 0. So simplifying, 3 times 0 squared is just 0. Therefore, this is 4 over 0. And always remember, if you are given a denominator as 0, this becomes undefined. So the answer for this one is undefined. Okay, questions? So that is how to evaluate a function if you are given an equation. For this one, this is 3x squared plus 4 over x. Hello? Okay. So what if we're now given a piecewise function? So what do we do if we are given a piecewise function? Okay, for example, this is the piecewise function. So I will share my screen. Okay, what if we're now given this piecewise function? Okay. So we have here f of x, x squared plus 2. If x is less than 0, 5x plus 2 if x is greater than or equal to 0. So if this is the case, I will just write it first. I will write the given. Again, this is a piecewise function. So how do we evaluate a piecewise function? Okay, it states here if f of x is equal to x squared plus 2, we will be using x squared plus 2 if x is less than 0 and 5x plus 2 if x is greater than or equal to 0. So we're asked to evaluate two problems. That is f of -4 and the next one, that is f of 3. So if you are given this problem, always remember that we need to analyze first. And in order for us to analyze, we need to look clearly at the functions. Okay? So this will be the given. Again, okay. So we're asked to evaluate at x is equal to -4 and at x is equal to 3. But what equation are we going to use? Always remember, for piecewise function, we could not use both equations for the same number. Okay. If this is -4, we could not use this just for this one or for this both. We could only use -4 for just one of these functions if it satisfies this condition. So this is our condition. Okay. It states here that whatever given, for example, if the given is less than 0, therefore we will be using this function. But if the given is equal or is greater than or equal to 0, therefore we will be using this function. Okay, so -4. Is -4 greater than, equal to, or less than 0? Okay, when we have -4, therefore -4 is less than 0. Therefore, it satisfies the first one. And we will be using x squared plus 2. Okay, therefore, we need to evaluate at f of -4. And this becomes negative 4 quantity squared plus 2. Therefore, this is now negative 4 squared. We have 16. 16 plus 2 now is equal to 18. Therefore, f of negative 4 is equal to 18. How about for the next one, f of 3? Okay, therefore, for this one, we could say that 3 is greater than 0. Okay, so 3 is greater than 0 and it falls with the second function, and this is 5x plus 2. Therefore, we will be using 5x plus 2. And we need to evaluate it at x is equal to 3. And this becomes now f of 3 is equal to 5 times 3 plus 2. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 2 is equal to 17. Therefore, f of 3 now is equal to 17. So this is how we evaluate a piecewise function. So let's have another example for piecewise function so that you could easily answer or easily solve for the functions on how to evaluate this one using different conditions. Okay, let's have another. Okay, what if we're now given this one? Okay, we are given another. So, medyo madami ngayon. Medyo madami yung binigay sa atin. So, we are given g of x if g of x, so sabi dito, x squared plus 2x if, if x is less than or equal to negative 1, x if negative 1 is less than x is less than or equal to 1, and negative 1 if x is greater than 0. So we're given how many? 5. Okay, for letter A, that is g of negative 4. For letter B, that is g of negative 3 over 2 or 3 halves. For letter C, that is g of negative 1. For letter D, we'll be having g of 0. And for letter F, I will just write it here. For letter F, that is g of 25. Okay, so for this one, we need to analyze first. Saan ba siya magfo-fall? So saan ba siya magfo-fall? So if this is the case, saan magfo-fall tong given natin? Okay, saan kaya siya magfo-fall now? Okay, we are given g of x squared plus 2x if x is less than or equal to negative 1. We'll be using x if negative 1 is less than x is less than or equal to 1. And we'll be using negative 1 if x is greater than 0. So saan ba magpo-fall si negative 4? So si negative 4, that is less than negative 1. Therefore, we will be using x squared plus 2x for this one. Okay, so let us now try evaluating g of negative 4 using x squared plus 2x because it satisfies our condition. So we'll be having negative 4 squared plus 2 times negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. Positive 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. 16 minus 8, therefore g of negative 4 is equal to positive 8. Okay? And for the next one, we have g of negative 3 halves. So negative 3 halves, also that is in decimal form. We could say that that is negative 1.5. Okay, so that is negative 1.5. If that is negative 1.5, therefore, where does this fall? To the following condition. This is less than negative 1. Okay, that is less than negative 1. So therefore, we'll be using the same, just like this one, the same function. So that is g of negative 3 over 2 is equal to x squared plus 2x. Simplifying, this becomes negative 3 over 2 squared plus 2 times negative 3 over 2. Okay? Negative 3 over 2 squared, that is 9 over 4. 2 times negative 3 over 2, cancel out 2. Will be having minus 3. Okay? So LCD now is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1 times 9 is 9. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Okay, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Therefore, 9 minus 12. 9 minus 12 now is negative 3. Therefore, the answer is negative 3 over 4. Okay, so this is our answer, and that is G of negative 3 halves. We'll be having negative 3 over 4. How about G of negative 1? So if we're asked to solve for G of negative 1, okay, so kung mapapansin nyo dito, parehong may negative 1 yung condition natin. Pero dito sa isa, wala naman siyang equal to negative 1. Sabi lang dito, negative 1 is less than x. Okay, so if that is the case, we will also be using this one. Since if x is less than or equal to negative 1, and it satisfies our condition. So for G of negative 1, we'll be having x squared plus 2x. Simplifying, this is negative 1 squared plus 2 times negative 1. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. Positive 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Therefore, G of negative 1 is just equal to negative 1. Okay? And for the next one, G of 0. So if we are given G of 0, where does this fall? Saang condition daw natin makikita si G of 0? So hindi na pwede yung first, hindi pwede itong third, kasi wala naman siyang equal to 0. Therefore, it will fall to the second condition. So we'll now be using x. Therefore, G of 0 is just equal to x. Therefore, G of 0 is equal to 0. So that is the answer. And for the last one, we have G of 25. G of 25 is greater than 0. So 25 is greater than 0 and it will fall under this condition. At kapag greater than 0 yung mga given na x natin, remember that we will only be using negative 1. Therefore, G of 25 is equal to negative 1. So that is how we solve for piecewise functions. So if you have comments, if you have questions, if you have suggestions, please let me know. Okay, I will be recording different videos also for general mathematics. And this is the topic for week 2, module 2 of general mathematics. Once again, I am Engineer Jad Edward Hernandez, and I'm saying that mathematics is always fun. Goodbye and God bless.